Hi, I'm Christina Ferris, and I'm the Development Director, and we're here today at the Crim Fitness Foundation. And we're going to be talking with someone who I recently met, whose story really inspired me. The Crim and our training program and our race attract all kinds of people, and we have a lot of different stories about why people and why you get involved and run the race and train for the race every year. And this story was just particularly touching to me, so I wanted to share it with you today. So I want to introduce Ann Maxwell.
Hi.
And she's in our training program. And so I'm just going to turn it over to you, Ann, and let you tell your story.
Okay, great. Thanks for having me. So after I graduated from college, I moved down to Austin, Texas, and after about 8 months of living there, I started experiencing pain in my right leg, and I saw numerous doctors over the course of about 3 months, and first it was just nerve pain, they said. Then I did get an MRI, and they said it was a benign nerve sheath tumor, and I still tried a lot of different medications. It still was not working. I was not getting any relief, so finally surgery was scheduled at MD Anderson in Houston, Texas. And when they did the surgery, the doctors realized, first of all, that my tumor had grown quite a bit, that it was cancer, and that they couldn't remove the tumor because of how it was wrapped around my nerve. It could have paralyzed me, so they decided to opt for chemo and radiation. So I did 1 round of chemo at MD Anderson in Houston, Texas, and then decided it'd be best to move home to be with my parents, so I completed the rest of my treatment at the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor. So I did 11 more rounds of chemotherapy and 6 weeks of radiation. And after about 9 months of treatment, I was declared cancer-free almost 6 years ago. It'll be January 24th is 6 years cancer-free.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So while I was going through treatment, I really always said I wanted to live and beat this, not only for those big moments like getting married and having kids, but also for those everyday moments like going on a run with my dad. And I was actually, before I developed pain, I was trying to train for a half marathon, and then the pain in my leg started, so that kind of got derailed. So I knew my dad had done the Crim before, and I never run more than a couple of miles, and he said, well, you know, they do have this great training program, so why don't we start there, because he was a more serious runner than I was. So we decided to do the 10 mile just because I had the capabilities and I still had my leg and the function of my leg. So we joined the Crim training group, and it was a great experience. Then the next year I did the 8K, and then I decided I want to go back to the 10 mile because it's just not the same. So I've been an RT31 for the last 3 years. So
wow.
This summer will be my 6th Crim running it.
Wow,
so.
That's such a wonderful story. And you know, I think the part of the story too that really touched me was how much of a part of your recovery, your treatment and your recovery, that your parents and your family were. I mean, they were just by your side.
Definitely, the whole time. And I always say I think it was harder on them than it was on me to watch their daughter. And it was like I had to move back in with them, and kind of they were my caretakers again, even though I was grown up. So yeah, and it's very important to my dad. We actually just ran a race this past weekend that we always finish together, and he won't leave me even though he's much faster than I am, and he's 30 years older than I am, so wow. And he's in great shape. Wow. So
that's an incredible story, and I really appreciate you coming in and sharing that with us. And like I said, I was really inspired by it, and the fact that you run the Crim because you can, and you have your leg, you have your health, and your dad's always there by your side.
Yeah,
so.
I told you before, I'm not the fastest, but I'm out there doing it, and I really do enjoy it, and it's a great experience to have with my dad, and to be able to have that experience is awesome.
Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing that today. And so I just want to invite, if you have stories of inspiration, if you've had things that you've overcome, whether it's your health, something related to healthy eating, nutrition, a mindfulness practice that you've started, something that maybe you found to be helpful, that the Crim's been a part of your life, we'd love for you to share your stories with us. So just like us on Facebook and share your stories. So thanks for joining us today.